My Apple Podcast, your personal connection to everything Apple. Hi everyone, Tim Brown. Welcome back to another episode of My Apple Podcast. For this episode, I want to feature an application that's called Over. Over, previously a typography application, is now a full-fledged photo editor. So let's take a look at Over. So when you first open the application, you're greeted with this very nice minimalist screen, dark gray or black, with a few options along the bottom. I'm going to begin by selecting New. When you select New, you're prompted to add a photo from your library or several other sources. So this is my photo library here, but I can also go to my favorites if I want to do that. I can then go to a built-in library of background images that I can add. I can also search for images as well. So I'm going to go back to my photo library. I'm just going to add this one image here for my background. And you can see as soon as I import the image into my project, I can then browse through various different filter options. And when you find an option that you like, you can then scroll vertically to control the degree of the filter. You can then proceed by selecting crop, and here you have a ton of options to choose from. Not just the original photo, but you can customize the crop however you want to. You can also crop it for Facebook, which is really nice. You can also crop it for Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitter is my favorite because it's really hard to get the right image for your Twitter background, so it's really nice to have this option. You can also save one for your iPhone, iPad, and even your iWatch. Pretty awesome. If you scroll to the left, you also see that you have options for selecting different aspect ratios as well. But I'm going to go ahead and stick with the original. Click Done. Okay, I'm going to tap on the image again and bring up the menu option so I can show you some more options here. So you also have an option to actually blur the image. So here you just scroll your finger along the numbers and select the degree of blur that you want to add. Then click Done. You can then move over to Tint. Tint is a nice option to have. Here with Tint, you can actually control the opacity of the tint. So here I actually have the color yellow selected, but I can scroll from left to right to control how much of that tint I want to add. If you want to change the color of the tint, just move over to the Color tab, and then you can use Over's very unique grid format for scrolling through the different color options available. This is one of the most unique interfaces I think I've ever seen. And you can use this little scroll bar along the top to actually control how much of that tint you want to add as well. Now you notice that you get this second menu of pop-up circles, which enables you to basically add other elements. If I click the X, it just takes you back to the main menu. You click plus, it brings that menu back up again. So here I'm going to go ahead and actually choose another image. And I have some transparent images already in my library, so I'm going to go ahead and import those over this existing photo. Here I can use my fingers to pinch and zoom to control the size of the image, or I can just use the tools along the bottom to make various different adjustments. For example, I can add a shadow here, and I can choose angle, and then choose how much of the angle that I want to add, and so forth. I can also control the size from here as well. But again, you can still use your fingers if you want as another option. So in addition to shadows, I can also control the opacity of this image in case I want it to be a little bit more transparent. I can rotate this image if I want. I can add a blur effect and so forth. Same menu options as the original image. And click Done. Click the plus symbol and go back, and you see I also have the option to add fonts. Click on that option and it's going to prompt you to add text. So I'm going to go ahead and just type in travel. And then just add that to my photo. And you can see after you added your text, you can then scroll through and choose all the different photo options that you have. Pretty awesome. There are some fonts that even enable you to scroll vertically if there are more options there. Pretty awesome. And likewise, you can control the size. So I can increase the size of this font. I can also change the color if I want. I can add a shadow effect to this text as well. In this case, I'm going to choose angle once again and angle it a little bit to the right. And I can even control the opacity as well. Pretty cool. Let me click done. I'm actually going to go ahead and add another image. So I'm going to click the plus symbol, add an image. I'm going to select this male figure here and bring that in. So I'm kind of designing this as if it was a magazine, and I want the figure to be on top of all of the layers. Now you can control layers too at any time by selecting the layers icon along the top and just moving your items back and forth like so. I'm going to go ahead and move this figure back on top where I want it, and select the arrow and bring the menu back down. I can use my fingers, of course, to control the size of the image, or just select the resize option here. So here I just want the figure to overlap the text just a little bit, as well as the other images. And click done. You also have the option to add artwork. Some come pre-installed, some that you can purchase through the add-on option. And you can add any of these options to beef up your photo. Give it a little style. And of course you can also search for more options. And that is Over. Over is a pretty cool application that enables you to do a lot of things. It feels like a full-fledged photo editor, but because of the UI, it's so easy to use. Now, if you select on the settings icon in the top left, you'll see that you can learn more about the application, and you can even record your screen, which actually I'm doing right now. So if I stop recording, you can see it prompts me to save this recording to my library, which I'm going to do. And then I'm going to save this recording for this very tutorial that you're watching right now. I know, kind of confusing. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Check out Over. It's a great photo editor, very easy to use, beautiful interface, and well designed. My name is Tim Brown. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of My Apple Podcast. You can check me out at myapplepodcast.com, and you can check me out on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. See you next time.